We're at the Indiana Guitar Show, and Grandon Westlund brought us a beautiful bass, and it's kind of a, if I understand the story right, this is kind of a restoration. It's a resurrection. Restoration.
That's a good way to describe it.
I'm making a new word there.
That works.
Anyway, this guitar's been resurrected into a beautiful instrument. So tell me the story, how you got this, what it was like, and
All right.
I love how it is now.
I got this bass because I had a Ricky that got stolen, and I was always looking to replace it. Didn't have the money for it. I found this body. It's a 1977. So I found this body and the case, and it was stripped of parts. The neck was badly broken, and it had been spray painted. I got it pretty cheap, and I was going to restore it, but then I got a wild hair and decided to do all this work. So what I've done is I took a 1/4 inch off the body and put this raspberry dyed maple burl top set on.
So this is thinner than the...
No, this built it back up.
You built it, you
Right.
took it off and then added...
Right, a 1/4
added
inch
the
top.
cool stuff.
Right, the figured top, and it's been high pressure vacuum dyed, so the dye goes all the way through the wood. I always love matching headstocks, so I took another piece of that and did a matching headstock, a real thin veneer overlay. I took off the fingerboard, removed the original 2 truss rods, and then put on a piece of Wenge.
The carpet matches the drapes.
Right, exactly right. I put a thin piece of Wenge on there to stiffen the neck up, and then this is a stabilized, spalted flame maple fingerboard.
It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
And did you do these inlays?
Yes, the inlays are cut from the same wood as the top.
Yeah.
And what I did was I routed through the binding so that the inlays also act as the side dots, and then at the end of each side.
So on the side you can see. Right.
Yep. And then at the end of each of the inlays, I put a mother of pearl dot. These are black. The 12th fret is white mother of pearl, and these are black. And then the last thing I did for the body was I've always thought that Ricky should do this from the factory. Ricky, if you're listening, I bound the headstock to match. So the headstock has binding. And then all new hardware, so gold hip shot tuners. It has a D-tuner. And what I did with this is these are 2 humbuckers, and then the switch to go between them, then bridge and neck, volume and tone.
And you get the amber knobs.
To match, yep.
Very tasteful.
Right. The last thing I did was you have the dual output jacks from Rickenbacker, but I wired it so that if you plug into the first jack, you get both pickups mono. If you then plug a second cable into the second jack, it splits the outputs, so you have a single output for the neck pickup and a single output for the bridge pickup. You could run dual amps.
Very cool. Okay, so now are you the kind of luthier that just does these repairs, or do you build from scratch also?
I hand build, no CNC. I hand carve my necks. My website is gwbases.com.
gwbases.com. I'm going to look at the back of this. Look at this.
Yeah, now I rear routed it because I didn't want to cover up the front with a pick guard.
Right.
And this is the same board of wood that the fingerboard was cut from. So this is stabilized, spalted flame maple.
Beautiful. And is that an actual 3-piece
Yes.
neck to the whole body?
All that's left that's original is the backwoods, the truss rod cover, and the output jack plate. The interesting thing with this, the model is a 4001. The serial number is QI 4001. So the serial number matches the model of the guitar from the Rickenbacker factory.
So now tell me about these little dots here in the headstock in the back.
That's where the original tuners were mounted.
And so you just made it a thing of beauty. I love it. So if you were a car guy, this was a garage find that you made into a street rod.
Exactly right. I almost put hot rod flames on it, but her name is Ruby, by the way.
Ruby, I love you, Ruby.
And I did this work about 15, 20 years ago. The only reason I'm selling her is I don't play her. I played her last time in a band about 10 years ago, and she needs to be in somebody's hands and played. I want her to come back to me every year or two to be re-gone through and do setups and fix repaired things. I'm a P-bass guy.
This guitar is ready to have much more of a story than you have right now.
Absolutely.
Because it's beautiful.
And it is a thin lacquer finish I had sprayed in a custom shop in Nashville.
Man, every guitar is a story. This one's a great one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're good. Ready? Oh no, we're not ready. Are you? Chest.
Hello, Mr. Polly Pettit. If you hadn't nailed him to the perch, he'd be pushing up the daisies. This is
That's a
an
professional mic check right there, man.